The team there. Regards going out to Kovna Addison, Suso Ribeiro, and the team at Quality Insurance Company. Well, this afternoon we're totally honored to have head of the sales department here to tell us all about employers' liability insurance. Mrs. Evelyn Frimpomaa Darko is here. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, how are you?
Hello, Lexus.
And fine. Evelyn came bearing gifts as well. So it's customer service. So you should give me a goodie bag that has the Gogel policy written on it. I actually didn't know about the Gogel policy.
Yes, you should have, because it was just launched about 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
What was it about?
Okay, so the Gogel policy is a product born out of the Quinley products.
Okay.
So the Gogel policy is for women. Yes, just for women. So in this case, women, we've realized that over the years, women are better drivers.
Hey, Evelyn, how did you realize that?
Yes, we've done a research.
Drivers.
Yes,
really.
We've done a research from our books and then other places to realize that with time, in terms of their claims ratio, is better. So we decided that
they don't get into trouble much.
Not much at all.
That I agree.
Not much, yes. So out of our Quinley product, we decided to come out with a Gogel policy, which we just launched 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And this policy has 3 main benefits, which is very free for every woman who goes for that comprehensive policy. So the first one is you get a free courtesy car at the time of claim. You have a free Tom card to use for servicing once a year.
Wow.
And then we facilitate the renewal of your 2-year mandatory driver's license. And that is all free. You don't pay anything. So once you're a woman.
The lesson is this: men, stop getting into trouble so that we can also enjoy some of these benefits. What is this? Small time now, go and hit somebody's back. Then you see, the women are getting all the benefits. Yes. I think that's a very innovative product as well.
Thank you.
But today we're talking about employers' liability insurance. Ordinarily, there's often an employer-employee relationship where the employers have a responsibility of taking care of their staff or employees' welfare, and the employees in turn have a responsibility to perform their duties. Now, where does insurance come in here, and why employers' liability insurance?
Okay, so employers' liability insurance basically protects the employer against any financial loss when the employee is involved in any work-related injury or illness. So the employer takes the policy so that if an employee is involved in any related illness or accident, the insurance company now comes in to pay on behalf of the employer.
Okay.
So if let's say Joy FM takes an employer's liability, or let's say a Workmans Compensation policy for its workers, and it's mandatory, you have to take it once you're in Ghana. It's backed by the PNDC law 187.
Okay.
You take that policy, so if Lexus comes to work and then he's involved in a work-related incident or illness, then if it's taken with quality insurance comes in to pay for that compensation, because maybe Lexus is permanently ill or temporarily ill. So we come in to pay.
Let's use somebody else, like.
Sorry. Okay. So Kwesi permanently ill or temporarily ill. So the insurance company comes in to pay for the time that you're not working. So that's the compensation.
Okay.
And then we pay a part of the medical bills as well.
So it means that as an employee, I have to. Of course, the employer is mandated by law to get it. Yes, they are
mandated by law to take it for your employees.
But do you get instances where some people haven't?
Well, yes. There are instances where people haven't.
So if an employee and I realize that my employer hasn't, what do I do?
What happens is, because it's backed by law, everything that has to do with this policy goes through Labour Commission.
Okay.
So if you have an injury, you go to Labour Commission. Labour Commission does the calculation and everything. It is the only insurance policy where the insurance company has no say in the compensation. So Labour Commission tells us, depending on the person's salary and all that, and the level of injury and everything, and they tell us what to pay, and that is what we pay as compensation.
And that premium is paid by the employer?
Yes, it's paid by the employer.
So if an employee falls sick or dies medically in the course of his or her duties, he or she is eligible to for a claim, but that's from the employer. Okay.
So if you die out of medical illness, you are not entitled to a workman's compensation or employer's liability claim, because it has to be a work-related injury or illness. So let me explain further. There are people who work in the factories. sometimes due to the fumes and everything, they get illnesses that may not come out immediately or they are not physical. But with time, they go to the hospital and they realize that this is what caused this illness.
Okay.
Once it's been able to prove that that is what caused the illness, you claim under the Workmen's Compensation policy or the employer's liability. But if it's malaria, if it's typhoid, it's diabetes, it is not work-related.
Okay.
So you can't claim under the Workmen's Compensation or employer's liability.
Okay, so it's not all medical bills that will be paid under the Workmen's Compensation in the event of a claim.
No, we pay up to 33.3% of the medical bills.
Oh, not all.
No, we don't pay all. For the compensation, we pay everything as stated by law. But for the medical bills, we pay 33.3% of it.
What type of injuries are we talking about? I mean, I'm trying to get a sense of it. So you mentioned the one about fumes, maybe a prolonged exposure to fumes and hazardous substances and whatnot. So what kind of other injuries are we talking about here? Okay,
so we have temporary injuries. So let's say you are working in a factory and then you are a steel bender or something, and let's say what you are bending comes down on you.
Okay.
I had an incident not too long ago where he was dealing with one steel something and the thing just came out and hit his hand and just took out his whole part of his whole arm.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, the skin off.
Yes, it's temporary. It's temporary, but it's very, very huge.
Yeah.
So we pay for that. And everything that has to do with work. Once you are working with a company and what the injury you get has to do with related to your work, Workmen's Compensation covers it. So it is temporary, it is permanent, and death. So when you die, somebody can fall from a scaffold and die.
Yeah.
Once it was work-related, it's covered.
And it's only up to 33.3%.
For medical.
For medical.
For medical. But the compensation we pay in full. So once Labour Commission tells us pay 200,000.
Yeah.
We don't have an option than to pay. That is why we make sure that in the calculation of premiums, we do the right thing. Concerning Workmen's Compensation.
Wait, so the insurance and the Workmen's Compensations, are they different?
Okay, so they are related, but they are different in a way. In employer's liability insurance, the employee would have to prove that it was the negligence of the employer that caused him to get that incident. So let's say he was using a ladder, and the ladder had a problem, and he informed the employee and the employer still insisted that, go and use it, that will happen, and he falls. It is the negligence of the employer that caused him. But for Workmen's Compensation, you don't need to prove. When there's an injury related to work, it's an injury.
Ah, right.
Yes. Okay. There's no need for you to prove that it was the negligence of the employer that caused you to have that injury.
And how long does it take for a Workmen's Compensation claim to be paid?
Okay, so in Ghana, National Insurance Commission has given us the rules of 5 working days to pay every claim. So once we receive all the documents from the customer, that is the labor sheets, the medical reports, the claim forms, and then the salaries and everything that we've requested for. Once we receive that, within 5 working days, we are supposed to pay you, and we pay.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, I think things are a lot clearer now. So, as I'm in the studio, as Kwesi is in the studio now, if this monitor falls on my finger and small cuts, I for come take insurance.
Yes. Once your employer has taken Workmen's Compensation for you.
So it puts the computer well. If this will fall on my hand right now, claim. They go claim. Okay, I think this is a lot clearer now. Employers' liability insurance and Workmen's Compensation and all that. I'm happy you've actually thrown light on it. Now, if you're listening and you're an employer and you don't have that, you might be in trouble sooner or later. Yes, and I'm sure QIC does offer that, right?
Yes,
you have those packages as well.
We do.
Okay, maybe you can tell me a little bit more about some of the packages that we can access at QIC, apart from the Gogel policy, which I'm so in love with. Yeah.
All right, so QIC, or Quality Insurance, has been in the system for the past 23 years. And we have our majority shareholders, that is the Catholic Bishop Conference. We offer general insurance products, which includes motor, Workmen's Compensation or employer's liability, that you've seen. The liability insurances, that includes public liability and all that, assets or risks. In fact, everything that has to do with general insurance or property insurance, that is where we fall in. So we protect your properties against any risks that may fall on it.
Amazing. Well, good stuff. Speak to the team at QIC.
Yes.
Quality House is just around the corner. I've been coming there a lot. The whole squad be my squad.
I know.
Yeah. So I really am happy that you came through today to educate us on employers' liability insurance and workmen's compensation. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're
Regards
welcome.
to the team. Mrs. Evelyn Frimpomaa Darko is head of sales department at Quality Insurance Company, and this is actually put together by the Ghana Insurers Association. If you have any complaints or you want to find out more, you probably want a little bit more education on these topics, you can actually call the GIA Complaints Management and Advice Bureau on toll free 0800 44 2000. That's 0800 44 2000. You can call, and if you have any complaints or you want to find out more about any of the things that we'll talk about here in our drive time with insurers, you can call these numbers and they're definitely going to respond to you. Thank you so much one more time.
Thank you, Lexus.
And
Thank
Komla
you.
as well. Thank you so much for bringing her along. So there you go. That's about it. Tomorrow as well, we'll come your way with another very interesting topic here on your superstation Joy 99.7 FM. It's drive time and I'm Lexusville.